over 30,000 islands in the Pacific Ocean, and many of those are uninhabited. Being stranded on an island like this, chances are someone is looking for you. So to make sure you can be seen by a rescue party, you need to build what's called a signal fire.
I want this fire to be as big as possible, but also as flammable as possible, so it will burn really fast and really bright. And I want to start it just with this big pile of dead pine needles to act as like tinder. And then if I use these big dead coconut branches and build like a tripod around this tinder bundle.
This signal fire will not be lit now. It will be standing by in case I see a boat or an aircraft.
And then what I've also got here are some really green ones. And if I just lay these around it, these will act not only to waterproof it and keep this whole signal fire dry, but it will also smoke. And if something comes over in the day, I'm going to need that smoke.
But I do need to start another fire now, which I'll need to keep burning constantly so I can light my signal fire at any time. To light the fire, I'm going to use a technique called the fire plough. It's widely used in the Pacific Islands. Hibiscus, which grows throughout Polynesia, is a perfect wood to use for the basin plough because it has a very low moisture content.
And it's not helping that the sweat drips off my nose into it. I've had that happen twice now. I have to start again. So I'm trying to drip the sweat to the left. Come on, you're almost there.
By creating enough friction between the wooden handle and the groove, you can work up a coal that can then be used to light a coconut tinder bundle.
Okay, look, that ember's going now. And if we just tip this into this tinder bundle, and we should have flames. There we go. Whoa. We've got fire.
Staying warm here is not the problem, but the sun is punishing, and prolonged exposure to the wind and rain can sap your health. So I'm going to build a simple shelter. Hibiscus is such a useful tree, and it's common near the shoreline of Pacific Islands. You can spot it by its heart-shaped leaves. Its smooth bark is also excellent for lashing material.
Normally I'd build a shelter right back in the shade, but really for me the priority out here is that I'm visible from the air. Anything flying over, any rescues. What I can do is lash these on with more of this bark fibre.
As a first layer, use dried palm leaves. They're plentiful, and I don't waste too much energy finding them. And on top, fresh leaves that are more waterproof. Survival is as much about the mind as it is the body. And sometimes it's just a simple thing, like taking a dip, to lift your spirits.
Often the reason that islands like this are uninhabited is that there's no ready supply of drinking water. And my best way of finding a drink is to get to these coconuts. And the ones I want are up there, but the only problem is that's probably about 35 or 40 foot up. And getting them is not going to be easy.
There is a technique for climbing these trees. Always keep pressure on the trunk with the balls of your feet and toes. And as you go up, alternate moving your hands and your feet.
One thing you really need is strong inner thighs. And if you're good at riding horses, you're going to be good at this. But my thighs are burning, I'm only halfway out.
Coconuts may be a lifesaver in this castaway situation, but they're also killers. People die every year from coconuts falling on their heads, and an average sized nut weighing 2 pounds can hit the ground with a force of 1 metric ton.
These are the ones I'm after. It's these green ones that are the younger coconuts, and they contain